The Research Achievement Awards were created to celebrate University of Virginia's faculty for their leadership in their fields and having an impact on the world. The Research Excellence Award recognizes faculty members who are not more than 10 years beyond receiving their terminal degree and who are emerging as leaders in their fields and are recognized as such by their peers. The three winners are Zhang, Robert Gilliard Jr., and J. Butler.
My research is at the intersection of chemistry, material science, and chemical engineering. So we focused on developing new synthetic techniques to generate functional nanostructured materials that can be used as catalysts for clean energy and environmental sustainability applications. So our mission is to understand how atomic structure of catalyst, which is typically nanostructured materials, can be controlled and manipulated to optimize the catalyst performances. So at UVA, we have created a series of catalysts that can function to split water to generate clean fuel hydrogen, as well as to convert the carbon dioxide and biomass molecules into valuable chemicals and fuels. I'm beyond honored with this award. It's a great motivator for my future work. I'm very grateful to my team members, as well as my mentors and collaborators and nominators for their tremendous support and contributions. Humbled.
My research group makes molecules and materials that impact energy concerns. We study compounds related to the reduction of carbon dioxide. We also make molecules that impact the production of organic electronics, things like television displays, cell phone technologies, but we're really studying the molecules on a molecular level. One of the things we are really interested in recently are thermochromic or thermoluminescent materials. These are materials that change their chemical or physical properties based on a change in temperature. And a lot of those types of materials are very interesting for potential applications in packaging science. For example, for the COVID-19 vaccine, the Pfizer one, which has to remain cold. So you can imagine in transport from different types of industries, if that vaccine is compromised and it warms up too much, you will have a visual indicator to let you know that that sample is no longer good. It's a pleasure to be honored by the university for the academic achievements and research achievements. But I think the real true stars of the work are the students, research associates, postdocs that work in my lab, who really take care of most of the hands-on chemistry at this point. They're the real superstars.
Think about questions of corporate social responsibility, particularly the interaction between corporations and international law. So how businesses exercise governmental functions, how they enforce international law, how they commit to international law, and how they influence what we understand to be the rules of international law. So my work is at the convergence of corporations and thinking about sort of global affairs. I've been working on a series of papers that thinks through the emerging enforcement potential of corporations. So one of the challenges often with international law, or that we understand about international law, is that it has weak enforcement mechanisms. It's difficult to enforce. And I think about the ways that corporations extend and enhance the enforcement mechanisms of international law so as to make the system more effective. It is of great significance to be recognized by one's colleagues. UVA is an intellectual community of excellence, and so to receive an award from this community is very significant.
The Distinguished Researcher Award recognizes faculty members who are outstanding in their research and recognized as global leaders by their peers. The three winners are Despina Louca, Zhen Yan, Jayakrishna Ambati.
So in physics, usually we separate people from theorists and experimentalists. I'm an experimentalist. I work in the field of condensed matter physics, which is essentially everything that you see around you, physics of solids in particular. I use very specialized techniques such as neutron and X-ray scattering to understand the basic electronic properties. I get easily excited when I come across a new system and I really want to understand how it is inside and how it works. It's almost as if you are unraveling an onion and you discover a little treasure every time inside, and everything is unique. There is no two systems the same. And so finding that out, that piece of the puzzle, what makes it work, is really the most fascinating aspect of what I do. What's nice about this award, first of all, I didn't know that I was nominated, so it was a little pleasant surprise. I feel happy that my colleagues on grounds recognize my achievements.
We are studying the benefit of exercise on health through remodeling of a small organelle in the cell, the power plant, mitochondria. Recently, we have been focusing on the process of quality control of mitochondria, the power plant. And when the power plant being used, exposed to different things, it can cause damage just like your car engine could be damaged. And our cell has a way to recognize damaged mitochondria and remove them. And we study the impact of exercise in precisely recognizing the damaged mitochondria and remove them and replace it with brand new, healthy, functional mitochondria. I particularly enjoy this because this is focusing on health rather than on disease. And as I understand, the impact of research on health is far more important than treating the disease, because most of the time it's kind of too late. This award is a clear recognition of the outstanding research environment here at UVA. I'd like to thank the School of Medicine, the Division of Cardiovascular Medicine in the Department of Medicine, and the Cardiovascular Research Center for their very generous support. Particularly, I want to thank colleagues here who are very collaborative. And without their collaboration, I would not be able to walk far.
We want to end blindness. You know, I'm really blessed to be surrounded by really an army of amazingly talented young scientists who are both creative and industrious. And together, we've made some exciting discoveries about how the immune system activates toxic pathways that cause blindness in diseases such as macular degeneration and diabetic retinopathy. And chief among these immune pathways is something called the inflammasome. And we've discovered powerful molecules that could become the first drugs that block inflammasomes in people. And we hope to advance these to clinical trials in the very near future. I'm very honored and humbled by this recognition from my colleagues at the University of Virginia. But as I said before, it is really an award for the group that I'm really proud and fortunate to lead. It is this group collectively that has made these discoveries over the course of the last several years. And it's my privilege to accept this award on behalf of all of us.
The Research Collaboration Award recognizes a team of faculty who have collectively made unique and significant contributions to research as a result of their collaboration. The team that won the Research Collaboration Award is Bradley Cox, Robert Hirosky, and Christopher New.
So our work is primarily on what's called the CMS experiment at the CERN Large Hadron Collider. So it's a very large machine, about 17 miles in circumference. Protons are accelerated to very high energies. They collide, and they collide with a great deal of energy. So we will look for unusual types of matter being created or unusual interactions in the matter, which will lead us to new understandings of the basic laws of physics.
Our good luck was that we chose to work on a detector which was at the heart of the CMS experiment. The detector we worked on was the electromagnetic detector, and it turned out to be the primary detector, the critical detector in the discovery of the Higgs particle, which had been pursued for 50, 60 years.
A new subdetector that we're going to install in the coming years, and that apparatus is going to be able to measure the time of arrival of these new particles that are created in these collisions with a precision of 30 trillionths of a second. And that'll help us understand these collisions at a deeper level than we've ever had before.
It's a very important nature of our field to collaborate with a range of colleagues. And one of the big advantages of having a local team is that it allows you to build up resources, so that you can do much more than any individual PI can do.
The Award for Excellence in the Arts and Humanities recognizes faculty members who are creating new knowledge and creative works of art in their own disciplines. The winner of the Award for Excellence in the Arts and Humanities is A.D. Carson.
I'm interested in hip-hop composition. I make rap music, and it is related to, I guess, like what folks might call vernacular practices. So my most recent project is a, I'll say peer-reviewed rap album that I call a mixtape essay, called I Used to Love to Dream. It takes this historical film that's called Playtown, USA, and it's a documentary about Decatur, Illinois. And it tells a particular kind of history and a particular voice. And I used that and then my own voice in music and clips of, all kinds of other things to kind of push back against that narrative, to create an intervention in the way the history of places like Decatur get told. From people like me who grew up there, and then looking back at those histories that we have that are supposed to be representative. But what you're doing is is remixing that history so that there's a voice that sounds like yours, or for me, there's a voice that sounds like mine. And so that's what the album is trying to do.
Nominated by junior faculty mentees, the Research Mentor Award recognizes a faculty member who has helped others succeed in their careers. The winner of the Research Mentor Award is Kevin Janes.
I'm located in an engineering department, and we apply engineering principles and approaches to basic questions in cancer biology and infectious disease. And we do that through a combination of quantitative approaches, modeling approaches. We do things at the bench and at the computer. And we think that the combination of these different approaches can lead to new discoveries that would elude more traditional approaches. In my view, the junior faculty at UVA and at any institution are the most valuable resources that a college or a university can have. And so why shouldn't we make every effort to ensure their success? To me, it is tremendously fulfilling to meet with a junior faculty member. They come with a problem or a challenge, and then I can give some suggestions or things for them to consider. I mean, for me, it's a very humbling honor to get recognized for something that, in many ways, I see a duty to contribute to the university. And yeah, so I think that it's great that the Vice President's office has a mechanism to be able to recognize this activity.
The Public Impact Focused Research Award recognizes faculty members from all academic disciplines who have engaged the community they work with and improved their lives. The winner of the Public Impact Focused Research Award is Molly Lipscomb.
I work on environmental issues, particularly in developing countries. And recently I've been focusing on providing infrastructure services to households that aren't reached by government services. So this is a really tough issue because there are often very poor households that aren't reached by the government services. Often because migration is very fast into urban areas. So in one of my recent projects, we've looked at the impact of collusion in the sanitation sector in Senegal. And what we've been interested in is trying to understand how to make sanitation more affordable to poor households. So what we're interested in really is making the latrines work and emptying their latrines. And it turns out that this sector is actually not competitive. And so what we did was we set up a auction system in order to make them behave more competitively. And we were able in some neighborhoods to reduce prices by as much as 30%.
Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your contributions in 2021.